Hello again, everyone, and today we're going to show you how to make this cute little bee. He even has his little fuzzy white butt. I know I had to look that up myself, and sure shooting, they do have a little bit of white fuzz on their butt. Um, Bees are easy. These are pretty easy to make, and if you're a beginner felter or you're wanting to make something, really cute and fun, something you can use. You can put these on wreaths. You can do them in flower arrangements. You could make this a little flatter, attach it as a brooch pin, or wherever you want to add a little bumblebee to your decorating or your gift giving. These are great to attach to anything. They're really simple to make, and I'm going to show you how to make this little cute little bee for your projects. We are going to make the wings. You can, however, you can purchase plastic wings, Velimar wings, I believe, to add, and they have all the veining in them. You can get those on Etsy, or anyone who does paper craft that can do that. But I kind of like the keeping with the felt. I really do. I like the little wings. It doesn't detract from the bee at all and from your work. So let's get started with this little bee. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some core wool so we can make the basic form. You'll need a little bit of white for that tail end. You're going to need black, and you're going to need yellow. Your felting surface needles, I'm using a 42 diamond for general stabbing. If you have seen the other video on needles, these are living felt needles, and they're fantastic if you're looking to step up from basic, just general needles, and you want to get specific. Living Felt has a great selection of needles. I'm also going to use a 40 triangle, which is my finishing needle, and it happens to be green, because I want to get a little bit of a finish on it, but I don't want him flat. I want him to be a bit fuzzy. So the 40 triangle is really good for that. I can get a little bit more definition, but not a complete flat surface. So we're going to start with our core, and I'm going to take a little piece of this, and I'm going to start small, and I'm going to draft this out just a bit, and I'm going to roll this up in a tube like this, kind of fat, and we're going to roll it up. So we're going to take that 40, and we're going to stab this into shape. Now, I don't want this to be super firm, because we're going to be stabbing all this other stuff into it. And besides, it's a bee. He's supposed to be a bit squishy. So this will be an easy project if you are new, just getting started in needle felting. I kind of wish I had seen this bee when I first started, because I probably would have made a mountain load of them. And just to get my feet wet in felting. So this is a good project for you to use. Make sure you turn that around and get the other end. And you can pull this in and round this off to basically make a little bee body. We don't need any wires. Now you can add wires on the underside if you want to put his feet in and then paint them black. You could use black pipe cleaners to do that with. Give his legs a little bit of fuzzy. That would be nice. And then if you do that, if you put the pipe cleaner or wire legs, you're going to put it here, and then you're going to felt some wool over it to lock the feet in on the bee. Okay, so here we are. We're pretty well ready to start. So decide which end you want to be the butt end, and I think on this one I'm going to go here. So we're going to take a little bit of white, just a little bit, don't need much, and we're going to stick that in on the bottom, and the bottom is a little rounded, so move this in. Now you don't want this sticking out like long hair. You want this to be short, So push that in. So you want a little bit of it out. Now if it ends up in your still too long and it's longer than what you like, just trim that off. Here we go. So we just need just a little bit of fuzz. Okay, so I'm going to start with black on this little guy. Now I'm going to pull this off in little sections like this, because I want to put these in a little bit at a time. And I don't want these to be, don't make these real long. If you've pulled it off and it's real long, then just pull it in half and make that short, because this is a little guy. So we're going to lay this right here on the end, and I'm going to hold that down. Now don't felt the ends in. You're only going to felt in the middle, like you're doing shingling for fur. Well, kind of, it's kind of like fur. Get your next piece. That's short. We're going to lay it right there next to it and do the same thing. You're going to stab in the middle. That one's a little bit longer than I want. So we're going to pull it apart and make it short. And we're going to put that right here. Okay, now I'm holding the ends down so I can keep going around the edge of this little bee's body. And don't make it flat. Don't flatten your bee body out. You want to keep him rounded. Just get that in there. And stab it in. There's a little piece of vegetable matter right there. It probably won't matter, but it does to me right now. So I'm going to pull that out. And then go through here. And we're going to keep working our way around this bee body. See, we're almost there. These are so easy to make. They're so simple. And they're so cute and so adorable. And you can use them on so much stuff. I mean, if you're a gardener and you have your, well, what my husband calls it the Farmer Jane hat, and you have a sun hat for when you're in the garden, you can decorate your hat up with these little bees. Now we're going to take and we're going to fold that over like this. Now here again, if this ends up being too long, just go through here and trim it up a little bit. And don't throw that away, because you can use that. And we're going to see, you have a little skirt on your bee. Oh, I'm just kidding. Now, on that fluff end, don't flatten it, but stab it down just a wee bit, like this, right here on the edge, right where we're at, and then keep going around till you get it. And then make sure that your white is still showing here on the end, but don't cover all that up. Now, get some yellow. And we're going to pull some yellow off. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do this again. We're just going to do it in yellow, because bees are black and yellow. So we're going to take, here again, this is too long. So we're going to shorten that down a bit. Now right here on your bee, where this black line is, you want to take your yellow and lay on top of that. If you can see that, here's the line. And that's where you want to start stabbing your yellow in, right there. And here again, go all the way around, just like we did before on the black. And you're going to repeat this process. Now you can make these black bands, yellow bands, you can make them as big or as thin as you want, because bees are like people. They are individual. Each bee has a different pattern. Each bee does not have the same width on black wings, yellow wings. Some have more, some have less. That's the fun of not only nature, but it's the fun of felting. You can take something like this bee and you can get creative with it. I actually thought about what it would look like to make bees out of different colors. I thought that might be fun. You like maybe get some of the indigo blues and purples and make some bees like that, just to make them a little bit more fun. All right, so we got that one in. Now, same thing, take and fold this down, back down like this, so it makes that fuzzy ring. And again, if your yellow is longer than you want it to be, just go through there and trim a little bit of that off. It's kind of hard to get that measured right off of the pile. Save that because you'll use it. And again, go back and tap that down just a bit, not flat, so it stays in place. Because you want to keep that fuzz on your bee. You want to keep him happy. Bees aren't happy when they're not fuzzy. How do I know that? I don't know. It's just how I think. Okay, we're going to switch and go back to the black. And we're going to pull these off in little piles. Maybe we can get this done a little quicker. I mean, this is how easy this is. You're almost there. And do it again. You know, is there a set, gotta do it this way on this? No. No. That's the fun of needle felting. This is your creativity that you are putting to work. You're taking what's in your thought. What do you need? You know, maybe you don't need a big, huge, fat black and yellow bumblebee. Maybe you need a green and yellow bumblebee. So make one. I think that's probably what I love the most about needle felting is it's whatever I dream up. And you know, sometimes I can dream up some really wild things. You should see my project book. I've got drawings in there like crazy of ideas and hey, this would be cool, and then I sit down and sometimes I draw them out, and then again there's times where I sit down with some core wool and I just start working, and whatever it turns out to be, way it turns out to be. That's just how it works. But that's the fun of being a crafter. I get to use my imagination. Okay, here again, there's a little bit more vegetable matter. We're going to fold this down. I kind of like that. A little long maybe, but he's cute. He's starting to take form. And you can squish him back into shape if you need to. Because you know you are, whoops, felting. Felt this down just a bit so he's not, you know, looks like he needs some frizz-free shampoo. We don't want him to be frizzy. We need him to be fluffy. Okay, I say one more yellow ring. Let's do one more yellow ring. And then we will finish his head and put his wings on. Okay, so here again, right here where this line is, it's a little bit long. Let's make that a little shorter. There we go. And we're going to put this in because I need to leave enough space to get his head in there. And we're going to do this again all the way around with the yellow. And then we'll get to his head and wings. And then you will have a cute little bee that you can put anywhere you need a bee. Now, if you make this little bee and you have a Facebook account, we do have a page on Facebook under RSW Creatives. We're easy to find, and we would love to see the little bees that you make and where you used them at, what you thought. You know, has this helped you make bees easier? Kind of get you inspired to make something else, something bigger maybe. I'm going to stop that down just a little bit. Oh, he's gotten real fuzzy. I like it. I like him. Him or her, whichever one you want her to be. Okay, we're done with yellow. Now we're going to take some black. Take it a little bit. It's easier to put more on. So we're going to take and we're going to cover this end right here. Now you can put eyes on yours if you wish. I don't. I think they're kind of cute the way they are. Sometimes I think we get a little bit too crazy. Go a little bit too much detail, and it kind of takes away from what you've done. From the simplicity of a bee. These would be really cute to put on like silk flower arrangements and maybe suspending from fishing line or off of a flower. It would be fun. I might have to try that. All right, so cover this end with black. I apologize, I keep bumping my camera. Now don't make this smooth. Even the heads of bumblebees are not super smooth. They're actually a bit fuzzy, like the rest of them. Okay, I'm going to switch over here to this 40 so I can get this in there a little quicker. I want a little bit of detail, but not flat. And don't felt too much because you don't want to lose the shape of your bee. You want to keep this little round piece. We need a little right there. Cover that up. Let's get that in. Okay. I think he's cute. Yours is probably cute too. Okay, so let's get these wings made. See how cute is that? Look. You got his little fuzzy butt. Now, if your white's not showing, you can always grab a little pinch of white, and you can step that back in there. Because bees do have a white butt. I know it's weird. A little bit too long. There we go. Okay, let's make your little bee some wings. Now, I used white for my wings. I'm going to pull probably about this much. About this much. And then I'm going to part this in half. Okay, so then I'm going to fold this in half. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start shaping this like a little itty bitty wing, like this. This little round, almost teardrop shaped wing. I'm using the 40 triangle. I'm going to kind of shape this in. Now remember, as you're felting, whichever direction you're stabbing in is the direction the wool is going to go. So getting your shapes is based on which way you're putting that needle in. Make sure you lift off. So if I just keep stabbing straight down, it'll get flatter and flatter. But I want it to take a round shape. So here, I'm going to stab that in at an angle. And see, it curves it in. So I get this little round shape. And don't stab hard. You don't need to go. Your needle works from here down. All this is smooth, so it's not imperative that you stab heavy into your felting surface. Okay, so we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna give this side a little bit of a work, because even though bees are fuzzy, their wings aren't. Not that I've touched their wings, but now if it's still a bit too fuzzy for your liking, I'm sorry, I keep bumping my camera. You can come through with your scissors and trim off some of these little flyaways. Okay, now before you attach this, go ahead and we're going to make the second one, because I want to keep these relatively the same shape. I don't want to have a big huge wing on one side and then I put the other one on and it's way smaller. Bees can't fly like that. They have to have them equal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to shape this one. Now again, like I said, you can go on Etsy and there are vendors there who can print you out those plastic wings, and I do have some. I don't know where they are at the moment because I just reset my craft space and I'm still trying to figure out where I put things. But I have some, and relatively, they're not super expensive. The ones I got came out of Canada, and she was fantastic. She got them here as quick as possible. And they do look good. If you're looking for more detail, that might be something you want to consider, is those plastic vellum wings with all the little lines. Okay, am I the same? Huh, pretty close. All right, let's cut away some flyaways here. You know, you can use the clover tool, flatten that out if you want. I don't want it too flat. I don't want them too clean. Okay, so now we have 2 wings. Close. So whichever side is top on your little bee, I kind of like this side. We're going to take and we're going to pinch this together, and I'm going to lift up some of this yellow under here, over here, and I'm going to stab that right down into the black, like this. And I'll put them at an angle. You can put them any way you want. You can put them straight up, flat, side by side. That's totally your decision because this is your bee. And then once the wing is in, I'm going to tack that yellow back down over top of it. Okay, then we're going to do the other wing. And we're going to take this in here. It's kind of hard, this being this little. And you can make these as little or as big as you want them. These, I mean, as easy as this is. And they're a lot of fun for an easy project. I mean, not that I've ever done a project I didn't find fun, but All right, and there you have it. You have yourself a cute little bumblebee with a little white fuzzy butt. And see, they're different sizes. No two come out the same, even though they've both done the same way. But there you are, a quick, easy way to make a little bee for your decorating. These are also a great way if you have an autistic child who is learning about bees. These are a great way for your child to have something physical to hold in their hand, and they can learn about bees. What a great thing to give a child is education and learning. But there you are, your cute little handcrafted felted bee. So thank you for joining me. Again, we are on Facebook under RSW Creatives. We have a page there. We would love to see what you have made, and we would love to see your little bumblebees. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week.